We got 2016. Freshman class.
This was a crazy ass. This is the year of the summer that niggas be. This is the most unforgettable summer ever.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about summer 16, honestly, but apparently everybody was living their best life.
Hey,
But now you got Uzi, Yachty, Kodak, Denzel Curry, Herb, Davies,
yes,
Lil
sir.
Uzi,
Yes, sir.
Anderson .Paak, Designer, and One Savage.
I can honestly say this was the most. I walked into this XXL more geek than 2015, but it was kind of just I was edgy. Now, from now, all them artists that you just named off now to see the evolution of the artists, can't nobody say shit about this list. I'm about 2016 in whole. Nobody can say shit about this list as far as like these niggas was weak or anything. Like this was the class that we seen as far as like after 2013. That was just like these. I'm gonna tap my potential in a sense. Uzi has done it. Yachty has done it. Kodak has done it. Kodak has been consistent when he's staying out of,
Kodak got a lot going on though.
Kodak got a lot going on, man. But when he hitting, I don't know.
I mean, Kodak's run before this freshman list though. I remember I recently like stumbled upon it just like thinking the songs he dropped in like 14 and 15.
Yes, I did that shit recently too. I'm like, damn, like
I say Kodak was in his bag.
Kodak was in his bag, baby, bro. Like
I'm serious.
His list was just like, and then you got I was a big Denzel Curry fan when he made this, and
I got hip after, but a fan of it.
Before I'm like the shit that he was on, I'm like, this some next level shit. I fuck with him. Heard, another nigga that everybody was just kind of waiting on to get their shine out of Chicago, and like see him take the baton and do what he did. I like Heard, to me, I was like, all right, like it was stamped, and then just his last album is just like, bruh, you doing what the fuck you need to be doing. Dave East, everybody overlooked his debut. Debut kind of got overshadowed by a lot of the projects he had to drop leading up into his debut. But man, if y'all can go check out Dave East's debut, like it's real, very personal. That motherfucker slap.
Dave East can spit. I don't know if people really give him credit for that, but Dave East can spit, and he can flow. Like Dave East got flow. Like you can hopefully vibe this shit too. Lil Dicky is actually cold as hell. And it's just like
nobody wants to give him his credit because it's just like I feel like with how
I think it's just the style of rap. On top of him already being white. Like it's the style of rap. It's kind of like you don't want to be like, man, this weird ass, like extra ass white person. That's what I don't really want to say that, but
if you sit down and listen, you'd be like, this motherfucker really can flow. Like,
like it is what it is.
Hip hop has so many biases now. The shit sad.
Look, got Anderson .Paak. Self-explanatory. Got Designer, and for the time, Designer definitely was hype.
Uzi was.
I ain't saying he was the most hyped or nothing like that. Okay. I'm just saying like Designer at that time definitely was a very recognizable name because of Panda and everything. Then you had Timmy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then you got 21. So it's a loaded class, man. You probably, I don't know if you're gonna like where I got them ranked, but we'll see. But yeah, now that's a nice class. At the time, I would probably argue. I'd probably say Uzi, maybe Yachty. I'd probably go with Uzi though. And then as far as now, it's gonna be Anderson .Paak, 21 Savage.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
Mine's then I'm gonna have to go with Uzi. Biggest three out of here. I'm gonna go 21 Savage. Ooh, it's kind of hard for me, man. I'm gonna say Uzi, 21, And it's between my real toss-ups and between Herb and Anderson .Paak.
Moving on, next class,
2017.
Yeah, freshman class of 2017.
I like this class.
Yeah, huh?
I'll say this. At the time, I didn't fuck with this class at all. But I like this class. I've came to like this class. This is a real good class, man. I'm gonna say, all right, and this is why I say why. We're gonna start with at the top. You got Kamaya.
I like Kamaya. I don't think Kamaya's ever gonna reach the potential that she could have reached. But
I feel like she's gaining it, bro. Like the B stamping, she's as a female and the stamping the sound of the Bay, like you know how influential the Bay is. So to see how she, bro, don't sleep, bro. She's gonna get that peak that people feel like she missed in that window. I think she can. She's gaining it, bro.
That's a long ass window. It's a long ass window.
It happens. It happens, bro.
It don't happen. I know it happens, but I'm saying
don't sleep, bro. Please don't sleep on Kamaya, bro.
I'm not sleeping. I'm a personal Kamaya fan. I'm being realistic, thinking about not based off of those who gonna fuck with her music like us. I'm talking about like making her mainstream. Cause she's another artist that won.
I think like the way music is, that shit really don't matter. No, it's becoming the point where that shit doesn't matter. If you make good enough fucking music, niggas gonna fuck with your shit.
It ain't like, yeah, you can make great music, but it's all about people finding you too. Like people gotta hear you.
Now though for her, because at the time that she was coming out, it was like streaming wasn't as what streaming is and how you could promote a motherfucking artist.
I agree. Like she dropped A Good Night in the Ghetto in 2016. Fire. Didn't drop the album, didn't drop her most recent album till this year. I don't think that album is better than A Good Night in the Ghetto.
Good Night in the Ghetto.
So what I'm saying is, it's like though, just because she has that sound stamped, I still got to see. I didn't really see any flashes from A Good Night in the Ghetto in this album. And I'm not saying
you're just waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's supposed to sound the same. But what I'm saying is, from what I heard then, I thought, oh, she can take off. But, of course, she had her label dispute and what have you. So, dropped now, and she probably is, whatever, headspace she's in. But I'm waiting to see more glimpses of that and see if we will see it. I think she could. I'm not saying she can't, but I just feel like it's a long window. And sometimes when you miss that much time, or when you're not releasing music in that much time, things just pass you, and it just becomes a thing of there's way more music to be consumed now as well, and it's way more easily accessible. So a lot of your music can just get lost. So that's what I more so mean when you talk about how long of a window people don't release music in, when they're like in her tier and they're in her position as far as like where you at in your career. Got A Boogie. A Boogie cool. I rock with A Boogie. Like I think he's in his tier of, those rappers that have that sound, what I'm saying? It's cool. I don't, I'm not riding for him to be recognized as something more.
I personally feel Boogie got a sound that it can, if he's smart, and if he played his card right, when reaching through people for music, he could actually have a global sound. But
I think I can see that.
It's a hit and miss. It's all about how much he really, connect with or any in that sense. But he definitely has a global sound that he should tap into. That's the potential I see for him. Like, I don't see him trying to go for bars or anything, but he has a global sound that it could be like, if you get him for anything, it'll sound nice. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's solid. I feel that. I feel that. P&B Rock. It's solid. It's a lot of artists that are just like genuinely solid. I don't think there's too much to say in a sense of making this argument for them being considered amongst the elite, but you respect them for what they've done so far, the sound they created, the lane they're in, and what they've done. It's cool. It's solid. Like, it'll be nice to see if, from that point they can, because that's only 3 years ago. So, it's what it is. Carti's in this list.
All right, let me ask you this, and we're going to slide through this after we get to Carti. what are you expecting from him right now? Like at this point in his career, how you feel about him? Even though like this is only 3 years, but the hype of Carti and his sound, like how you feel from what you've been hearing so far?
Yeah, I mean, I won't say I didn't get hip to Carti. I didn't start really listening to Carti until, I want to say recently. I'll probably say like in the past year. Like I was never somebody that said he was trash. I just didn't listen. So I got around to actually hearing some of his songs and listening to him. I'm just excited to see his evolution. I think when you see these artists first come in, you know, you like it. I think naturally you would hope that they evolve into having a cleaner sound, being able to expand their subject matter, and kind of transcend in a way. You kind of always want to see artists, like we already know music is changing. So artists, you know, in these past 5 years, I feel like we would love to see them transcend and like show us what the next steps are going to be or what they should be. And so I guess I'm kind of waiting to see if Carti's going to do something like that. I feel like a lot of people expect him to. I feel like he has the potential to. I just want to see if it's going to happen. So that's kind of where I stand with Carti right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Amine. Amine is solid. I think this was after the summer for Caroline. So you know, that one of the biggest summer songs. So that's major. Amine, you know, respect to him again, like, you know, solid artist, relatively, I won't call him an underrated lyricist, but when he wants to rap and when he chooses to rap,
he ain't on. He on, bro. Like I give him that. Like his debut. If you sit and listen to it, it was nice, and like it kind of showed the range that he had outside of Carolina. That's how I felt about it. Yeah,
no, for sure. Cap G, not a huge fan. I didn't. Hey, you know,
I didn't heard a couple of his tracks. That little motherfucker decent. I can't fake it, bro.
I mean, I don't like. Is he still making music? Like a lot of these,
he's definitely like he's really current as far as making music and shit like that, and like what he's fighting for, him being I want to say a Mexican rapper as well, is like is very dope because you see his aspect of the, you know, he made a song about ICE and all that shit that's going on. Like, of course, we hear over here all these black artists in hip hop talking about Black Lives Matters, but to see another descendant of just another ethnicity talking about they struggle and they fight and shit like that. To me, that shit is dope. His sound is nice and shit like that. He can either spit, or if you want to take him for a hook, he can definitely get on the hook. That motherfucking Cap G nice. I'm not gonna fake it.
That's fair. Kyle, I like Kyle a lot. Also, I don't think he's released a project since 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But I fuck with that project a lot. I like him for the kind of artist that he is. You know, again, just the kind of music he makes. It's kind of like, in a way, it's like goofy rap. You know,
Gambino rap.
Yeah, basically. So that's real.
Remind me a lot of Gambino. I fuck with Ugly Guy, bro.
I fuck with Ugly Guy, so
yeah, I fuck with Ugly Guy, bro.
Ugly Guy, so he cool. I mess with Made in Tokyo.
Never really got into Made in Tokyo's work like that. I'll be honest.
I've heard him on features, but I heard Skateboard P. But I heard that because that was Sean coming out song. But like I said, never really got into his music other than some of the features I heard him on, but that's about it. Also, he's short as hell, but that's neither here nor there. And then, bro, they had him in the back of the cover, and he's like standing. Clearly, he's standing on something because he's not that tall, but he seemingly is taller than everybody. Nah,
you weren't buying that shit, huh?
No, if you see him in pictures, man, like 5'2".
Hey, man,
ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, sure. Yeah. And then you have XX.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Albeit the controversy, I feel like he really would have led the way of what music could have sounded like moving forward. I love the fact that he was willing to experiment. Because I think too many artists are scared. Because I think especially if you can do it that early, you can play around and just see what works and what doesn't. I think so many people are kind of scared for something not to work, as if like that's gonna end everything for them. You know what I'm saying? But he experimented with a lot of sounds, and he just showed how versatile he was. And I think if you got an open ear to music and you can appreciate different sounds, like just different ways people are creating art, I think you can understand that he would have definitely been pivotal in whatever music is going to sound like or kind of evolve into the next decade for sure. But that's that class. All right, so freshman class of 2018. Got 2 more. We're almost there, y'all. Glad y'all sticking through with this. This is,
it's 2018, bro. This is what I personally call the clone class. This shit, boy. You had Ski Mask, the Slump God. You had Lil Pump, Smoke Perk, my boy JID, Stefan Don, Block Boy JB, YBN Amir, Wi-Fi's Funeral, and Trippie Redd. The clone class is self-explanatory. Most of these niggas was sounding alike, bro. Like this was the niggas with the popping out with fucking tattoos, colorful hairs and shit like that, bro. And I was just like, yo. But what I would say about the clone class, a lot of these motherfuckers had a sound that was not heard before. And I give them that shit, bro. Like motherfuckers like Trippie. When I first dove into Trippie, I was blown the fucking way because I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this little nigga with all this shit? Jumped into his songs and, hey, but the clone class, undoubtedly, is not a top 3 XXL class. But how do you feel about this class personally?
I mean,
it's just there for you?
Outside of JID and Trippie, I mean, I will acknowledge and respect Stefan Don for her arena and for her main audience. I respect her for that. And I, of course, respect her music. But I just think in general, if you talk about JID and Trippie, it's not much to really look at from this list. And I think
JID was the fucking rookie of the year and MVP of the class. Like,
oh, for sure. I mean, I think people will get hip to Trippie late because it's already late now. But I think Trippie will continue to become a little bit more mainstream, and then he'll kind of see his fan base grow a little bit more. But I mean, Trippie been out for some time now. And it's like, but Trippie also has one of them like them niche followings, even I would say like a cult following, if you will. And not so much in a negative sense, but more so like you just got like specific people that really mess with their kind of artistry. But yeah, that class just isn't a lot to talk about to me, look at to me. I feel like there's a lot of relatively either forgettable artists or just artists who really didn't do much past being relevant in the time frame leading up to this issue. But that's all I really got to say about them.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then the final or most recent freshman XXL class for last year, 2019. Comethazine, is that how you say this man's name?
This is how you fucking say that nigga name, Comethazine.
Comethazine. All right. Don't know much about the brother. Know of the brother. Don't know much about
he from, I believe he's from East St. Louis, Comethazine. So, yeah, some folks from Lincoln knew that nigga. Shout out my.
For sure.
Yeah, he from East St. Louis, I believe. Man. Okay. He claims some part of Illinois, but I never dabbled into his music at all.
I haven't. Sorry, not sorry, but respect to that man. Tierra Whack, huge fan of her. I would love to see a full project from her. A new one, I would say. But look, I'm a huge fan of Tierra Whack.
Yeah, potential. Potential.
As a woman rapper, I definitely think she can do a lot as she continues to hone her skills. DaBaby, self-explanatory. I feel like
the class.
There. What?
Nah, I was just.
Oh yeah, him. Lil Mosey.
Didn't really get into that motherfucker. Can't fake it.
Another one. Right. Like that man. Sorry, not sorry to that man. Roddy.
I'm not sorry. Roddy. Oh boy, Roddy.
Self-explanatory. Corday. Self-explanatory.
Big self-explanatory.
Well, okay, I won't call Cordae self-explanatory, but he had a great debut album. And I feel like Cordae has already established that.
Old niggas remix, like, come on.
Like, he can hang, he can spit, and I think he's gonna be around for a long time. That YK Osiris, I've heard a couple tracks. I don't look for his music, but
I think he's crossing over into like singing and shit now. So I know that was already his niche, but as far as like doing sing rap, he's strictly, I believe, sliding into just singing.
Well, I hope he has fun with that. Not a huge fan, but whatever. Rico Nasty.
Tuffy.
Yeah, tough. Gunna, self-explanatory. Blueface.
Cult following, that nigga not really like that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Blueface fan. Yeah, don't really know. I don't know what he'll do moving forward.
I've heard a couple of songs, but it's just like y'all really, a lot of folks really kind of gaslighting Blueface. That's for what it is. Like,
I definitely agree. So it's what it is. And then Meg, your lady. So
all right, we had this debate and we was talking about who was the best freshman before we actually did this freshman episode. Out of 2019, can you really say DaBaby beat Meg?
Yes, I think DaBaby had a bigger 2019 than Meg did, musically. Musically, DaBaby was relevant.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's right. It's not like by a long shot.
I never said it was.
I know. That got to be understood. Like, it's not by
for sure. No, that's why close. It's close.
For me, I understand DaBaby as far as music, but when you speak of the culture of hip hop, and we talked about that before, cultural aspect, Meg had a bigger impact than Baby. Musically, Baby had a bigger impact than Meg, and it's kind of hard to really. I'll say this honestly. When I ask you that question, it's hard. I feel like it's hard to just give one off to the other. To just say,
I think it's difficult because you can consider everything, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna look at the fact that at the end of the day, I'm looking at the music you drop. You can, if you're a music artist and you got a great impact on culture, that's amazing. But if you got a great impact on culture and you release no music, that don't really mean shit to me. I'm not saying that's the case with Meg, but what I'm saying is, Meg.
Are you saying because she wasn't as consistent after Tina Snow and Fever, and it was just like?
Well, that's the thing. I guess if I'm looking specifically at 2019, that's what I'm looking at. And so Tina Snow dropped in 2018.
It's kind of crazy though for you to say that DaBaby was consistent with his releases. We can say that. But as far as that, she dropped the tape at the early of 2019 and kind of rolled off into the sun, still off the name and the hype of Meg Thee Stallion, and not having to drop a single or say I'm gearing up. And the fact she beat I ain't gonna say her personal things kind of give way more to the story. That's not what I'm gonna say. But it's always kind of hard for me. Like that when 2019 is for me. I say for me, motherfuckers, y'all can say what y'all want and be like, nah, it's DaBaby. And then there's some people that try to come in, sneak in and argue Roddy Ricch, but you really can't because it's like
not for the year. Nah. I mean, I don't think you can
really, in half from June to December. You can say, all right,
but Roddy didn't become Roddy on a global into the album, into the box for real. But like only if you was listening to him and knew of him like in an underground standpoint was you listening to him before. Cause I mean Roddy had music drop the year before, so he had been around, but like he put his stamp, with that album. So I say, but if you're looking at 2019 just from a music standpoint, like even kind of disregarding the list, just from a music standpoint, I think the fact that DaBaby dropped, he dropped Baby on Baby, and that was, it was an amazing tape. I just feel like it was a really amazing tape. He dropped that in January. I think it's like January or February. Wanted to like really early in the year. And that momentum carried him. Then he also hopped on probably some of the biggest songs of that summer and of the year. And while he did have a couple misses in his features, the features where he spazzed and he starred on far outweigh his misses. So when I talk about the year for music, not only did he drop 2 projects that, you know, I mean, the second project, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I feel like it's a decent tape. I like it much better than the tape he dropped this year. But that's why I would say he inches out Meg, because Meg dropped the album and it was good, and then had Hot Girl Summer, which was great for culture. But from a music standpoint, DaBaby just left. He just left his name on everything in that year. And it's just extremely recognizable. But it's close though, for sure. But yeah, man, let's end it off and go ahead and rank these, or see where we have everything ranked.
All right, so number 1.
Why would you start at 1?
You're right. The shittiest. For my XXL at the bottom, I'm gonna have to go with, at the very bottom, I'm gonna go with 2015. 2015, that's at the bottom.
For you?
2015 is at the bottom. I'm sorry. That class was poo sauce. That shit was trash. After 2015, I'm going to go.
What, we going to go back and forth, or you just going to run through yours?
You want to just run through, or you want to go back and forth?
I mean, we can go back and forth, and we ain't got necessarily, I can just tell you if I had the same thing there or not.
All right.
So I didn't have 15 dead last. I had 18 last. Mainly because I don't think JID and Trippie are enough to pull them from the bottom compared to the other classes. I wouldn't put 15 last only because I got too much respect for K-Camp, Gold Link, and Vince Staples, and Fetty Wap, and Tink. So when I say I got respect for them, I mean, I wouldn't say the stardom is what carries it, but for their time and even what most of them have done to this point, I couldn't put them last. I feel like they collectively are a better group or have better catalogs and even probably more stardom than 18 as a collective. So that 18 is last for me.
All right. For my second one, I'm going to have to go 07.
Okay, we agree on that one. I was worried because I felt horrible putting them at 11, but for me, I think it's because they're the oldest class, and I think that when I'm looking at the class, I don't think you can knock any of their kind of like overall.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, they're all OGs, so I don't think you are disrespecting the class. I just think as far as people who had mega careers, I don't think you really go past Boosie and Plies. Like I said, I mean, you got Gorilla Zoe, but I feel like he was really for the time. I feel like people like Crooked Eye, Papoose, Joel Ortiz, I feel like they just kind of like OGs in their region and their states, and they can rap, but they didn't have the careers to kind of back it up. I feel like Dro kind of falls into the category of Gorilla Zoe. Same with Rich Boy, for real. And I think Lupe is like that kind of one in the middle where it's like Lupe is big in his own right. I don't want to make it seem like Lupe ain't recognized or known or ain't a great artist. It's just kind of like they kind of fall there for me because when you hear a lot of those names still, like if you're not really kind of like a fan of music and a fan of the history of music and you really kind of appreciate older music and understand it for its time, because I just feel like not a lot of people really care or just kind of remember it, in that fashion. So that's why they there for me. I don't know if that's why they there for you, but yeah.
Yeah, that's respectable. I probably never gonna have to go and agree with that. Yeah, don't even need to get into that. My third,
for sure.
My third, I'm gonna have to go with.
Yeah, who you got? Yeah, who you got at 10, bro?
I'm gonna go with 2017. It's
interesting.
I'm gonna go with 2017.
Interesting.
You got.
Okay. I had 2012 at 10. Yeah.
What the fuck? Future, dog.
That's
French.
it.
That's it.
Future's the biggest one. I respect French. Like I said, I respect French, but when you think of some of the other classes, it's like
I would put 12 after the one I just named. If I had, but damn, at 10, 12 at 10, sheesh.
I mean, if you got them at 9, you at like 10 is horrible.
Yeah, but it's just like,
I feel like them and 17 are kind of similar because, like we say, in 17, Carti is like the biggest name. I mean, you would have ran.
So that's your flop. Your 9 is 2017.
Nah, my 9 is actually 15. And the only reason, because I originally had 17 at 8. Okay. And that's because I explained why I had 2012 at 10. And I felt like 2015 was at 9 because I'm looking at Goldlink, K-Camp, and Vince Staples. I'm considering Fetty Wap and I'm looking at Tink, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like XXX, Ugly God, Carti, A Boogie, Amine, I just feel like they kind of inched them out. If I like, it was kind of hard. I was going back and forth, but I feel like they just had more, maybe of today's music. Maybe I could probably fault it to that. But that's where I had it. So I had 2012 at 10. I had 2015 at 9, and I had 2017 at 8. Okay. What you have at 9 and 8?
My 9 was 2012. My 9 was 2012. And then my 8, I'm going to go with 18.
8? You had them at 8?
I fuck with Jid, man. I fuck with Jid.
They're better than 4 freshman classes? If you thought it was wild for me to have 2012 at 10.
All right, I'm gonna switch 2012 and I'm gonna switch 2018. That's how that's gonna work.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Cool. All right. So what you got for 7? Who
7. Now we get into the nitty and gritty shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with. I'm about to go with the gang. I'm gonna have to go with 16 for 7.
You were 16 for 7?
Yeah.
Ooh. I didn't. They 6 though.
Who you go with?
09. Only because after Wale, Cudi, throw in Currency and Respect.
You're not throwing in B.O.B.?
I am considering B.O.B., but I'm
That's
also
not enough.
I don't think it's not for me.
And
the reason that I would put 16 before them is because I feel like 16 is a little bit stronger, and it may be more messed up because I'm looking at it from a 2020 standpoint. Mm-hmm. But I'm also looking at outside of Wale, B.O.B., Ace Hood, Currency, and Cudi. While they may have consistently we know Cudi's situation. While they may have consistently released music, like I don't think B.O.B. has really released music that much in the back half of the decade. Not like he was in the first half. And then Ace Hood, I kind of feel like is the same a little bit, and we just stopped like hearing about his music more and more, even though I'm sure he's making music. And Currency's been consistent, but Currency has always kind of been an artist that flew under the radar. So that's why for me it's like
I have to give you that.
16 edged them out because when I'm thinking of Uzi, Yachty, Herb, Davies, Anderson .Paak, 21 Savage, Kodak, like I'm Denzel Curry, I'm just like they were later, clearly, you know what I'm saying? And there's still probably a lot of time to see how some of their careers develop overall, but they inched them out for me with that one.
Okay.
It was tough, but they inched it out for me.
I'm saying it like that, like it's really like a big drastic because that would be my fifth. I had to go with 2009.
At sixth or fifth? Like who's your
Six. My
six?
six.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see him as interchangeable. I wouldn't sit there and think he was crazy or nothing like that. But yeah, I feel like they kind of right there.
So I wouldn't even give a fuck. Like that's just...
I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so that's 7-6. So this top five. Who five for you, brother?
Shit get crazy now. It get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
5. I am going to have to go with 2014. I'm gonna have to go with 4. I'm gonna have to go with 2010 with 4. You put them number 1, bro?
We ain't even got to 1.
I'm just saying though, so obviously they your top 3, but
they're in the top 3.
I went that to say because I had to be real honest with myself. I love Cole, I love Nip, I fuck with Freddie, I fuck with Big Sean, and I fuck with Wiz, like, and all these names on this list, but this list wasn't as packed enough to where I can say, listen, relax. I'm saying the names on here, they are big, granted, but are they like, I don't want to say they're kind of stamped, bro. Like when I look at these other names on these other lists, bro, like they're pretty. It's a jam-packed list as far
I thought we was good. I thought we was gonna get through this list and be straight. Like I thought we was gonna have some mild, disagreements and be cool. But this is just some shit that I cannot believe.
Hey, look, I mean, I just had to be honest with myself, bro.
So
who you got for yours?
Okay, so you got 2014 at 5 and 2010 at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have 2019 at 5. And I have 2014 at 4.
And then you have 2010 at 3, let me guess.
No, I got 2013 at 3.
That's cool, man. Trinidad at 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Who's your 3?
My number 1, I'm going to say.
I asked who your 3 was, fool.
All right, my 3 got to be. Three is okay. Matter of fact, my 3. Looking at this shit, my 4 is 2019. My 3 is 2010. My 2 is 2013.
We got the same number 1.
All right. I'm glad you put some respect on my nigga that's on that list, dude. Yes, sir.
It ain't about him.
Yes, sir.
It's not about him.
Yes, sir. You trying to say because of Kendrick, huh?
I mean, 1, I just feel like that's a given. But what I will say is, so I have 2013 at 3, 2010 is 2, and then 2011 is 1. And so the reason 2013, so my top 3 is like this. So 2011 is 1 because I just feel like along with the status of their names, the majority of these artists have the catalog to back it up.
Yeah, they live up to that.
So when you got Kendrick, top tier catalog. YG, it's mid tier, but he still released very solid projects, and of course it's very prominent on the West Coast. Mac has a really good discography. Sahai discography is hella nice. I'm a little bit hesitant to say top tier, but I also wouldn't feel bad about saying top tier just because but that's me personally speaking. Crit, I don't think his discography is top tier, but I think he has some really, really solid projects. They're just not hella mainstream. And I think Meek has a solid discography. And And I just think that as a collective, and then when you throw in Yellow Wolf, when you throw in Lil B and Diggy, I just think not only for the time, but over time, they are the most prominent class. And I think 2010 is right after them in that, because I think when you think about Cole, Nipsey, and J Rock, those are three artists that from 2010 to 2020 are still extremely relevant and extremely impactful in the game. And then when you consider somebody like Freddie, who is even now, maybe more so than before, really putting his stamp, on hip hop. And I think what he's doing and collaborating with these producers and making projects like that is something that is truly special. And I hope we see more of. But then you also, I don't think you can knock Big Sean and Wiz are two artists that, like, while they may not have seen the spotlight all of these years, I just think you can't knock what they did when they were when people were following them the most. And that's why they're two. And in that, 2013 is three, because I think outside of Travis and outside of Chief Keef, for real, I don't think anybody else has really gotten to that level. And because of that, that's not knocking any of their discographies, because I'm a fan of a lot of their discographies. But I think past the fact that you only have two artists who really reach that level, as opposed to the other two that at least have three or more, that's why the order is that for me. But that stretch, like 2012 kind of messed it up, but that 4-year stretch of 2010 through 2013, I think that class of rap is who we are looking at as like top tier now. I mean, if you think about it, because the only person that's in the conversation that's not on any of these lists is Drake, but he would have been in one of them in 2010 or 2011, more than likely. So I think that's how the top three fall out for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not gonna do it on camera, but we're gonna get together. We're gonna put both our lists together and try to come up with a consensus ranking that we both can agree on, and we're gonna release that for you all. But man, we talked about a lot of hip hop today, a lot of rap, a lot of artists that if y'all had the time, I mean, y'all got the time.
Go check that shit out, man.
But yeah, no, definitely check out a lot of these artists. Let us know what you think about the ranking. Do you agree? Do you not agree?
Talk your shit to us, man. We ready.
Of course. But man, this has been another episode of the Interlude, man. We halfway, through our first season. Definitely got more in store for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and say what you guys say.
Not quarantine no more, but Interlude.
Well, nah, man. This only the first half. The second half, we got a lot more in store for y'all. Another versus battle on the way. So be prepared for that. Also adding some more content for the end.
Hey, crazy, man. Look. Hey, the Interlude with it, dog.
Look, just trying to go crazy for y'all, man. And we just can't wait to keep giving y'all content. So until then,
those that's been consistently supporting us. We appreciate y'all for real, for sure.
Love the support. Keep supporting. Keep passing us on. Keep encouraging us to get better. Keep challenging us. All that, man. We trying to really make this special and really do something with it. So again, we both appreciate it all. And until next time, with love.
Peace. Straight up.